Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Free Exchange of Ideas. So today is Monday. Normally, I would do a thing on Newsom. However, the border seems to be such a huge story, and there's so many moving parts to it that I wanted to speak on it a little bit. I'm not going to speak on a lot of it because uh, legally I don't really understand the issue well enough to speak on it. I can tell you what I think of what's going on, but legally I don't understand the issue well enough. I know that Article 4, Section 4 says that the United States government is responsible for our borders and other such things exclusively, basically, and that and Texas is saying if the United States government is not doing their job, it falls to the states because there's another article that says, well, in the Bill of Rights, number 10 is what is not specifically stated to be part of the United States government's responsibilities falls to the states or the people. So there's a little bit of that. I think the Supreme Court is hedging their bets a little bit and saying, yeah, you got to clear that so that they can do their job. In the meantime, we will hear the case in a month or something like that. I think they've set dates for that. So they haven't made a complete decision. And this was a 5-4 decision, which is kind of kind of surprised because Roberts is the flip decision. So and somebody else was a flip decision, which is kind of a surprise to me. Or maybe Amy Coney Barrett, because they don't talk about her I haven't heard anything about her vote in this specific instance. Not yet. At any rate, so here's what I see so far. The Biden administration, the DOJ, and Homeland Security have shirked their duties. They've cut uh, Border Patrol, although they said they added some people, but I think they added mostly administrative people, so that's not really, in my opinion, it's not an addition to this, to the frontline guys, right? Obviously, not an addition to the frontline guys. And at the behest of the president, uh, Homeland Security, and whoever else I was speaking of. I'm sorry, I slipped. I'm a little tired this morning. Or, yeah, it's still morning. Uh, the Border Patrol is now currently in working as human traffickers. We have the human traffickers coming up from South America, Guatemala, Mexico, and passing people off across the river or whatever border they're using. And then Border Patrol is just passing them off. Now, I got some numbers for you I want to read. I found this article, which was kind of a surprise to me. I had no idea it was this bad. Let's see, the tag for this is record-breaking 300,000 plus illegal immigrants encounters recorded in a single month. Now, encounters and encounters between ports of entry are two different numbers. However, they're not that far off, amazingly enough. So, to start, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, released December's illegal immigration statistics on Friday, late Friday afternoon, when it is known that nobody's paying attention to what's coming out, or very few people are. So, revealing 302,034 encounters with illegal immigrants along the southern border. While CBP differentiates between total encounters and encounters between ports of entry in the agency's statistics, December's statistics, wow, that's a lot of words, shatter all previous single-month illegal immigration records as President Joe Biden's administration continues to face pressure to secure the southern border. Not from his party, from border states, New York and Atlanta and Chicago. Those three cities especially, because the governor of Texas has shipped people there that they've caught. So I don't know if those numbers are in this 300,000 or not. I don't think that they are. But so in a press release on Friday, I told you that. Encounters to right, right, okay. So according to Fox News, I know, faux news, whatever you want to call it, Border Patrol's 302,034 encounters in December not only set the record for the highest number of border encounters in a single month, but it also the first time over 300,000 encounters have ever been recorded in one month. Highlighting this latest statistic, shared by CBP officials, Bill Milughan, a Fox News correspondent, tweeted in Friday's news dump, CBP officially reports 302,034 migrant encounters in December, the highest month ever recorded. CBP also reports Border Patrol arrested 19 people on the FBI terror watch list in December alone. The total, bringing the total to 50 arrests for fiscal year 2024 so far. So I'm going to guess that fiscal year for CBP is somewhere in October, November, beginning of their fiscal year. So I'm not going to read his tweet because I just did. Let's see. In another tweet, Milughan noted that the record illegal immigration numbers have been known internally for a long time. Earlier this month, Fox News reported that Border Patrol agents had over 300,000 encounters at the border in December. Milughan also commented on the timing of CBP's official release of December's illegal immigration statistics weeks after the statistics were initially leaked to the media. He wrote, "These numbers were officially released late on a Friday afternoon after the White House presser and right as Trump jury decision news comes out." So yeah, they're trying to hide it. I mean, I don't blame them. That's a crazy number, right? Period. That's a crazy number. I would think 300,000 people is a crazy number for an entire year. But this is in the month of December alone. According to Fox News, the latest CBP statistics highlight the continued crisis at the southern border. Border Patrol agents had 2.4 million encounters in the fiscal year of 2023, as illegal immigrants have continued to enter the United States in record numbers since 2021 under the Biden administration's open border policies. House Republicans claimed in a Saturday press release that the CBP's December statistics show the Biden border crisis continues to rage on with no end in sight. The press release noted the Biden border crisis has gotten so bad that CBP has had to actually double the size of the chart it uses to report illegal immigrant encounters on the southern border from 150 to 300,000. There's another story. I did not find it. I heard it on the radio that Governor Abbott of Texas is still telling, in essence, the Supreme Court, we're not going to listen to your decision. We're going to continue to maintain our section of the border wall in this town, which is Eagle Pass, Texas. It is a border town. As a matter of fact, there are buildings that literally border the border. So they come across the river, they hop the fence, and now they're in town. It's from my view, I saw some video of this from another YouTuber, and I've forgotten his name. I apologize. Where you can see the river from that fence line. It's like 45 or 50 yards. It's nothing. And in that part of Texas, it's just scrub oak and desert. There isn't a lot of tall trees or anything like that. It's not a lot of places to hide out there. Scrub oak, gets about this high. If I were standing, it'd be about this high. Pardon me. And so Biden says on day one he gave Congress a immigration policy that they have not passed. That's a lie, because on day one he undid everything that President Trump did during his tenure as president. On day two, he had to take a fucking nap. So I'm not sure when he handed this off to them. But I know currently the present bill that's in Congress to fix the border and all the crossings also has money for Ukraine and money for Israel tied to it. And the Republicans in Congress are going, we have spent already trillions, multiple trillions of dollars in Ukraine. We've also spent over $1 trillion in Israel. We literally do not have that money. It had to be printed or and some of that money was stores of munitions and whatnot that we already had that we shipped overseas. So some of it is not actual money. However, the money to replace that stock is in the trillions of dollars. Let's just go there. Uh, President Biden doesn't give a flying rat's ass about any of us. He wants to spend money, and he wants to spend money on Ukraine and Israel. And he doesn't want to spend money here unless it's for illegal immigrants. Because as they come in and Border Patrol takes them in and then kicks them back loose, they get a $3,000 gift card. They get a phone. They get low rent residences wherever CBP sends them. They get all these special things, and yet we have people living here today that can't afford a residence, that can't afford food, and he's not giving them any help. I also heard, and this was in a kind of a blurb in the middle of another article, where he is allowing President Biden, because he's the only one who really has the authority to do this, he's allowing illegal immigrants to go to military hospitals for healthcare. Not only going to them, but being pushed to the front of the line. So that, like the guy that I work with here, he's not here right now. The guy that I work with, he would be pushed down the line just to get his doctor's approval for a new medicine or another medicine. And that's a load of shit. I mean, at the very least, that's a load of shit. And I could not condone that less. I'm just not sure how that would be possible. I could not possibly condone that activity and that thought process more. Yes, sorry, I had to do it properly. I hate that he does that. I hate that he does that to my brethren. I hate that he thinks it's okay to shit on veterans who have poured their blood, sweat, and tears into making sure that overseas we're safe. It 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 tears at my heart because I've worked with these men and women, and they believe in the Constitution. They believe in the sanctity of the United States, and they're just being shit on, and it irks me no end. I cannot tell you how angry it makes me, because then that means I have to let Lizard Brain out to explain, and he doesn't speak well. He just acts, and I don't want to do that. Also, I believe that they are engaging in human trafficking. The Biden administration at all is engaging in human tracking by pulling these people in, allowing them to cross the border, in essence, pulling them in, giving them succor, which is SUCCOR, 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 might be pronounced that way, I don't know, and aid, which is, in Texas's opinion and most people's opinion, illegal. I mean, you can't. You're aiding and abetting the enemy. Period. They are a invading force, and you're aiding and abetting them. Now, on top of all of this, I just find this absolutely fascinating and a huge surprise, to be honest. 25 states, half of the United States, have sent a letter to President Biden saying, we're going to back Texas. You know, if we have to, we'll send our National Guard to help Texas close the border or whatever they need to do. Now, that being said, 10 states have already done that. 10 states have sent their National Guard, probably not the entire group. I mean, I don't know. California's huge. We have bunches of them. Nonetheless, they have sent their National Guard to Texas, to the southern border, to help Texas maintain the southern border. President Biden just recently told Texas, hey, you have till a certain amount of time on this date, which has passed, I believe it was yesterday, to cut that razor wire, remove the razor wire, and get the National Guard out of there so that CBP can do their job. Um, Governor Abbott said nuts to that. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to let CBP back into Eagle Pass because they're not doing their job as uh, defined in the Articles of Confederation. I'm sorry, I think it's Articles of Incorporation in essence, uh, the Constitution. So he said, no, piss off. We're going to do this. We're just going to take care of it because you aren't. That's when, or that's right after Biden had gone to the Supreme Court in emergency situation and said, hey, tell them they can't do this. And the Supreme Court actually did say, you can't do that. You got to take it down. And I think Governor Abbott said nuts to the Supreme Court. Impressive. Dangerous, but impressive. Now, the fact that 10 states have already sent um, National Guard to help Texas, and that 15 more said we will if we need to. The only other option, the only two options really that Biden has, well, three options, because one is just back off, let it go. Can't do anything about it. Either get your job done or stay the fuck out of the way. Or he could send in military from other states. I'm sure California would send our National Guard there because Newsom is a freaking idiot. Uh, and several other Democrat states. I'm sure Illinois would do it because, again, blue state. Uh, I don't think he wants to do that. I think that would be an absolute mistake. And I say that because I think that would start Civil War Part 2 uh, and really just, it would be the end. It would be the end for the United States, I think, as a nation capable of defending itself. And I say that because so many people would go to Texas. So many conservatives would go to Texas with weapons. So many liberals might go to Texas to protest. Let's block the road. MRAP doesn't give a fuck if you block the road. This is going to get ugly before it gets back to normal. I don't think we will get back to normal for several years. And I say that because Biden has screwed the um, economy so poorly, so badly, I should say. The economy is in such poor shape that it will take a long time to recover. Part of that recovery might be if we get dumb lucky and Trump regains the presidency, if they don't put him in prison while he's in the presidency, and he goes back to the policies that he had before: secure border, oil, energy independence, uh, lowering the price of fuel and fuel oil and all of these things. Uh, you may not like him because I mean, mean tweets suck. I get it, and he's kind of bombastic. Well, kind of. He's bombastic. Uh, he doesn't have a big filter, but I have absolutely no doubt that he believes in the Constitution, that he believes in the sovereignty of the United States, and that he believes we don't have to police the entire planet. You know, there was no wars started under President Trump. He had 4 years. I mean, he could have done, there's a lot of things he could have done that even the Democrats would have bought. Um, there is, the Abraham Accords, that's Israel and Palestine and the Middle East, some of the countries in the Middle East getting under a peace deal. Hamas didn't give a fuck about that, but hey, that's another story we can talk about later if we need to. He did a lot. I mean, he pulled us out of the Paris Accords, where we, as the United States, were spending our treasure literally to lower our emissions. Now, but France wasn't doing that. I don't know why there's Paris Accords. France wasn't doing that. Okay. Sorry about that. And then he lost in the election. And then Russia says, "Oh, hey, the guy who might actually smoke us is out, and the dude who won't do anything is in. Let's let's attack Ukraine." And it took months to get NATO to agree to support Ukraine uh, with munitions and armor and all that stuff. I think there's some people in there. I know there's a bunch of U.S. ex-U.S. military overseas in that fight, usually as not advisors so much as guides. They're in the fight with the Ukrainians and running platoons and whatnot. We're not going to give them F-16s. We just can't. We can't. They can't afford F-16s for one, Ukraine, and two, it takes way too long to learn how to fly one of those things if you've never flown a jet. Period. Um, and the jets that they have are third generation Russian jets. So I mean, they're already old. They're already through a lot of parts that they don't have anymore, and they can't get from Ukraine. They won't get from the Middle East. That kind of thing. Um, I don't know what Trump would have done in this case. However, I would be willing to bet he'd have been on the phone with Putin the minute he saw or somebody saw them amassing on the border of Ukraine, and then game on. Nonetheless, getting back to the sorry, I digressed a little bit. Getting back to the border, I think the only thing that's going to save us. That's probably wrong. I wish the only thing that would save us is Trump winning the election and getting back into office, because I honestly believe he would do good things. He believes in the United States, and he believes we don't have to be everywhere all at once. We have a fantastic Navy, we have a fantastic military group, fantastic Air Force. We're going to be fine. We don't need to be all over. We can answer the call if we need to, but until then, we can just stay home and relax. We have people in Germany that we can stay, and we have a great base in Germany, actually two great bases in Germany that we can stage from, and we're fine. My fear, my fear is that Biden and the Democrats will find a way. I mean, because they could federalize all the National Guards and just suck them into D.C. Because they'll need them to protect. They'll need D.C. will need the National Guard to protect D.C. from we the people, because I think that will absolutely start world the second Civil War, and that's the thing that frightens me. I do not have enough weapons. For one, I don't have enough bullets for the weapons I have. Two, and I have no place to go yet. That's three. My town is about 35 miles from the heart of San Jose, California. San Jose, California is an absolute hotbed of liberalism. It's also a target for any other world power to fire on. Now, I saw a map a while ago of what Russia's alleged targets are, mostly the eastern seaboard, uh, a couple over the Midwest, Cheyenne Mountain, which is in Colorado. Yeah, is in Colorado, and San Diego, LA. Not San Francisco, San Jose, which is kind of a surprise. San Jose is honestly that is Silicon Valley, and it is where we make things. We don't build shit, but we design and make specific things. And I think Taiwan goes. I think uh, Korea goes. South Korea goes, because we won't be able to do anything about it. We're infighting. I think that's what they want. The infighting. And not just infighting, but I mean actual firefights across a valley or across riverbeds. I think that's what they want. It certainly seems that way, the way they're playing this game. I don't understand their thought process, because that kind of thing doesn't occur to me. To fuck we the people, to fuck our veterans, to just blow the economy up. Like, None of this makes sense to me. I can't follow it. And I apologize. This went a little bit longer than I had meant it to go, but let's just cut it off there. I think you understand where I'm coming from. And if you have arguments or agreements or you have better points of view, please don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know. Like this video, share this video on your social medias, uh, and never forget, even a fluffy bunny has teeth and claws for a reason. Live long, fight hard, win the day. See ya!